Happy to be back with you once again, this time with the Young Indian, part of the Voice of the Young series. Right now, we have with us Aarushi Agarwal. Let's listen to her. Over to you, Aarushi.
So firstly, thank you so much, sir, for having me on this platform today and, giving me this opportunity to do a Vidped Voice of the Young episode with you. Since I have actually been following you quite closely, so this particular platform that you give to, individuals to come here and express themselves, talk about any achievement that they have, or, any of the learnings that they have actually, learned in their journey so far. So in terms of all of this, I believe this is a great platform that you offer to students, and it's a great platform for peers to learn from their peers, from juniors to learn from their seniors, as well as vice versa. So thank you once again for having me here today. So I actually begin with a little introduction about myself. So my name is Aarushi Agarwal. I am a CA finalist who is currently pursuing her articleship at one of the big six firms, that is Grant Thornton Bharat, which we call as Walker Chanduk and Company LLP. I am also a recent graduate from one of the DU colleges, that is Shahid Bhagat Singh College, University of Delhi. I recently graduated in the year 2024 with a degree in BCom honors. Apart from that, in my college, during my 3 years at my college, I served as the president of the placement cell of Shahid Bhagat Singh College. I was also the outreach director at one of the entrepreneurial societies called as Hult Prize. And I was a part of like 7, 8 societies in my first year at college. Apart from this academic aspects, I am also really fond of entrepreneurship, and I really, want to become an entrepreneur someday and launch a successful venture of mine. So that was a little brief about, my introduction. Now the part of my life and the journey that I had, that particular part that I am going to share today is about and is for all those students out there who, are CA aspirants who want to pursue chartered accountancy as their course, as well as they are doing regular college. So for, all of those students who say things like, I am a CA student, I cannot go to college regularly, or I am a CA student, I have to miss out on my extra co-curriculars because of my CA studies, or for people who actually are not visible in the college because they have to sit home and study for their chartered accountancy course. So if you are any, student who is in this dilemma of whether to choose a SOL degree or a regular college along with your CA studies, or if you are a, student who is planning to leave on societies in the early years of their college, then this particular episode is for you. So stay till the very end. uh, because this particular myth that, CA students cannot be active in the college, or CA students cannot be a part of college societies, is well broken now. And through my journey, I'll share how actually I broke this particular myth. So I'll begin with my class 12th. So my was a COVID-19 batch. Eventually, our board exams got cancelled because of the COVID-19 pandemic, which eventually meant that our schools had to grade us on the basis of our previous records. Uh, so it so happened that CBSE had launched this scheme of normalization as well as rationalization, because of which, despite having a great predicted score and despite having having performed great in my offline pre-boards, I couldn't get those marks. I couldn't get those marks that could actually fetch me the best of DU colleges, something that I was actually aspiring from. I was studying during the entire duration of COVID-19 just to get the perfect marks to get
Right,
into the best of DU colleges.
right,
But despite, all of these efforts,
right.
I couldn't do it. So that was like a major setback for me, because everyone, dreams for the best of DU colleges, but I couldn't eventually make it, despite studying for it. So now here I was at a college called Shahid Bhagat Singh College, University of Delhi. Of course, not my first choice, but I decided to make the most out of this opportunity that I had. I decided to give my best at Shahid Bhagat Singh College. I have always actually been fond of this particular quote that when life gives you lemons, make orange juice out of it and let the world wonder how you did it. So, following this particular quote, I actually, joined 7, 8 societies in my first year. I gave interviews for some 9, 10 societies, and just apart from 2 societies, I got into all of them. So these were actually the best societies at the college with the best seniors and the best peers that I got. So in terms of networking, I was really good to go. At the same time, in my very first year, I decided that I'll give 50% of my time, efforts, and energy into my CA studies, as well as I'll give 50% of my efforts into my extra co-curriculars, that is joining different college societies to get that sort of exposure. Because I was just obsessed with this idea that despite being a CA student, I'll for sure ensure that my co-curriculars stand as far as a normal college student. So this was about my first year. Now we began with my, yes, sir.
So you were actually in 3 streams at the same time, right?
Yes,
There's
sir.
the normal college, there's the co-curricular, and then there's the CA.
Yes, sir.
3 streams.
At
Congratulations.
one time.
At one
Thank you,
time.
sir.
And what you are saying is that you can do it. I've done it.
Yes.
Okay, good. Let's proceed. Let's hear your proof.
Sure, sir.
Okay.
So now we come to my second year of college. So eventually, my second year of college was like the make or break year, because I had to, as we discussed, I had to juggle between 3 things. First was my college studies. Second was my CA studies, and third was my extra co-curriculars, that is my college societies. So this was the year that I actually learned, that when one goes into the practical aspects of doing things, organizing events, networking, it sometimes gets a little difficult for you to come back to the theoretical aspects of it. That is the kind of focus and the kind of attention that CA as a curriculum requires. It's difficult to get back to that. However, I was really obsessed that I have to ensure that I have the best of co-curriculars. So day by day, I eventually managed each day at a time. I made my plans to pursue my CA studies as well. I have to sit with 100% concentration and study for my CA, and at the same time, I managed my society's work. So, in terms of societies, I served as the outreach director of a society called Hult Prize, which was an entrepreneurial society, wherein I was managing a department of 15, 20 students, including my peers as well as my juniors. And at the same time, I got this opportunity to serve as the junior coordinator at the placement cell. So, in our particular college, we have a placement cell of just 14 students, in which only 4 students are from the second year. Rest everyone is from the third year. So out of like 400 people who had applied for those 4 roles, I got selected as one of them. So it honestly was a very rigorous and a very exhausting interview process and GD process. However, I could actually make it through. So in my second year, I was the junior coordinator at the placement cell, wherein we eventually had to be active all the time. We had to be on our phones, on our emails all the time, so that we could manage the recruitment drives that we had timely. At the same time, we had to be like constantly available. So that was a factor that was actually against me when I had to study for my CA with 100% of focus and attention. So I had to constantly juggle between the two. I had my laptop on all the time. I was studying for my CA. At the same time, I was checking my emails regularly. So second year passed on like this. And at the same time, uh, so every day was like a lot of like struggle and everything. At the end, the seeds actually bore fruits when I cleared my first group of my CA intermediate in my very first attempt with some great marks as well. So in
Okay,
terms of my
wonderful.
CA group 1, I was good to go. I cleared it in my first attempt, and at the same time, I was in the best of the societies, the placement cell, and I served as the outreach director at Hult Prize.
Okay.
um Now we move on to the third year of my college. So all these struggles and these challenges that I faced in my second year felt like nothing. It was just the tip of the iceberg, because eventually the third year is when I got like 100% exhausted. It was a very exhaustive year, because of my working as the junior coordinator in the placement cell in my second year. I happened to get the opportunity to get selected as the president of the placement cell. So at the same time, I also got this opportunity to serve as the president of Hult Prize, the other society that I was working in. I And eventually, of course, I had to choose between one, because along with my CAs, I couldn't have managed both the societies as the president, because leading right from the top requires your 100% focus and attention in a society. So in my second year, in my third year, sorry, I decided to move as the president of the placement cell along with my CA studies. Um, it was also a year where, I learned that when a leader who is leading right from the top is not giving their 100%, then he or she cannot actually expect 100% from the people who are working in his or her team. So as a president, I had to definitely give my 100%. At the same time, I had to manage my group 2 of my CA intermediate studies. um so despite being like a very exhaustive year, um I moved like day by day. I was constantly ensuring that I was giving enough time to my placement cell. I was innovative. I was bringing in new ideas in my placement cell, ensuring that we had the best of companies. We eventually ended up having the like big companies that never came to the campus. So in terms of the placement record, in terms of bringing the best of companies to the campus, we were really, really ahead. Despite having an economy wherein instead of hirings, there were a lot of layoffs, we brought the best of companies, we gave in those efforts. Now, this was 9th of January 2024, when my CA Intermediate Group 2 results actually came out.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, this was honestly the proudest day of my life, because I had cleared my second group in my very first attempt. And at the same time, I was serving as the president of the placement cell. And at the same time, I was really active in college. Right. So, why 9th of January was like the best day of my life was that I had actually done something that I stood for right from the very beginning of my college. Right from the first day, I wanted to manage both my extra co-curriculars as well as my studies. And eventually on 9th of January, I was actually doing it. So I had broken this myth that, CA students cannot be active at college. I had broken this myth that CA students are not visible at the college. So honestly, 9th of January was the best day of my life. Um, yes, sir.
I'm just going to ask,
Yeah.
what did you sacrifice to get all these achievements, or do you think you didn't sacrifice?
So I sacrificed my outings with my friends at college. I
Okay.
sacrificed going to concerts with my
Yeah.
friends and enjoying my college life a little, which
Yeah.
I eventually did towards the end, towards the end of end 3 months of my college.
Yeah.
However, I of course did sacrifice that. At the same time, when people were going on trips, I was sitting at home studying, because I had to add those additional hours to make sure that I was doing my co-curriculars as well as doing my studies. So every day was like, just making plans for how I have to proceed in terms of my studies and my co-curriculars, and then achieving it. Of course, I had my lazy days. Of course, there were days wherein I had to give like extra time to my co-curriculars, because the things demanded my time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I ensured that the very next day, I cover it up. So it was just one day at a time. It was like moving slowly, slowly, as well as consistent hard work. I really believe that in as a CA student, consistency is the key.
Mm.
So in case you are consistent and you are putting in consistent hard work, you will definitely achieve whatever you wish to achieve.
Okay.
So yeah.
So I think what you're saying is that you invested in yourself.
Definitely, sir.
You invested in yourself, and the results are obvious.
Yes.
You pass your CA in the first attempt. So that's investing in yourself, right? Instead of invest. I mean, I'm an economist, so I think of consumption and investment, right? So
Right.
you could consume or you could invest, right?
Right.
So you chose heavy investment in yourself rather than
Right.
consumption. Okay, I'm going on this trip, I'm going here, I'm going there. No, I'm going to invest in myself. And I think we see the results of the investment, right?
Yes, so definitely. Those 3 years were an investment that I actually made, which has
Yeah.
helped me to achieve what I actually wanted to right from the very beginning of my college.
Okay, wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue. Sorry to talk so
Yes.
much.
No issues,
But
sir.
I'm
No issues.
fascinated. I'm fascinated by your approach to life. It's just amazing to see somebody who's saying so clearly that, look, invest in yourself and you will get the results.
Definitely, sir.
Yeah. If you don't
Yeah.
invest in yourself, only you are to blame for whatever happens to you. If you don't invest in yourself, in whatever way you want to do it, but invest in yourself when you are young.
Definitely, sir.
This is what you're saying, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Let's continue.
All right. So, apart from all of this, another aspect to my life is the entrepreneurial aspect. So, this word entrepreneurship actually came into my life in my class 11th, wherein during my school, got this opportunity to actually participate in one of the entrepreneurial competitions. And since then, entrepreneurship has never left my life. So it so happened that between my class 12th and between our beginning of the college, I had certain months. I participated in a competition called as Young Tycoons Business Challenge (YTBC), which was a global level competition, which had like 9,000 plus participants from across 70 plus countries. So out of all those 9,000 plus participants, who was actually putting my business idea out there, was a part of the top 28 teams. So top 28 teams across the world. And this particular competition actually, shaped me. It taught me how to reach out to people. It taught me how to actually pitch in front of a lot of investors and in front of a lot of entrepreneurs. So this particular competition actually helped me a lot in my entrepreneurial journey. And since then, I have also participated in a lot of like B plan competitions during my college. I actually pitched my startup idea in front of a lot of venture capitalists and entrepreneurs and actually got their validation. So after, there was this one competition where a lot of VCs and a lot of investors were there. And once that particular competition was over, I actually received calls from a lot of entrepreneurs to, who were willing to actually guide and help me in my particular venture. So, in those terms, entrepreneurship definitely is a great part of my life, and I really wish to become an entrepreneur someday. Uh, Launching my venture really successfully and being there out there in the world as an entrepreneur. So, that was another aspect to my life. Apart from that, I'm always a believer of this fact, and my mom also says this, that when God hasn't given you the lines on your left hand, then you make those lines of luck on your right hand. So you ensure that you do that much of hard work that you feel that you're lucky, because not everyone is lucky. And personally, I believe that if luck is not helping you, then you have to do that sort of hard work to make sure that you achieve the things that you desire. So that was like a little about my journey. Now, I would like to like sum it up. Sure, sir. You were on mute, sir.
It's a shorter way. Make your own luck.
Yes,
Make your own luck. If you are not
definitely.
lucky enough to have luck, make your own luck.
You
Make
have
it
to
happen.
put in those efforts to ensure that you are lucky.
Yeah, the luck happens only to those who are prepared. Right? If you're not prepared, then luck won't favor you. Because you don't know what is luck till you are prepared to see an opportunity and take it. But if there is an opportunity and you are not prepared, then it's not going to happen, right? So what you are saying is be prepared. you know,
Right.
be prepared with what you have. Make it work for yourself. I'm really happy to hear this very optimistic message because I usually don't talk so much in these Vidpeds, but I am fascinated by what you are saying. So I'm talking. Okay, enough. Let me stop. Go ahead.
No issues, sir. All right. So I'll just like sort of like sum my learnings that I had in my journey so far. The first learning is that come out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
honestly, this was my mantra right from my very first day at college, that no matter
Mm,
what, I'll make that step. I'll take that step and make that move. Because a lot of people who have those qualities and those skills, just because they're not able to take that step that another person could have taken, they lack.
mm,
So this was my mantra, that come out of your comfort zone.
mm,
The second mantra that I had was consistency. So, as a CA professional, as a person who wishes to become a CA, consistency is the key. This is something that I've realized over these years. The third is that always be open to learning. So, I have been a person who is of the opinion that I can learn from everything and everyone. So in my college, because of the kind of network that I had, I used to learn and understand different aspects of things from each and every peer of mine that I used to meet. So my friends also say this thing, that whenever I used to go out of my class and I had to reach the canteen, I used to take like 30-40 minutes to cover a distance of like what 50 meters or something, because I used to meet and greet each and every individual that used to come on my way, ask them how they were doing, what they were doing, to understand how different people think about different things in their life.
mm,
So never stop learning. Always have this attitude of learning from everything that happens around you, as well as
mm,
everyone who comes
mm,
in your life, because
mm.
everyone who's out there will definitely teach you something.
Okay.
The last mantra that I really, believe in is that give your 100%, never settle.
Okay.
I was a person who was definitely, given a lot of setbacks in terms of challenges as well, but I never stopped. I always try to give my 100% till the very last point that I can actually put in those efforts.
Okay.
So, never settle down, never give up, just give your 100% and you will surely achieve it.
Okay.
So, these are like my four go to mantras that I wish to share.
Okay.
Mostly that's it from my answer.
Okay.
So,
Great. I mean, you have given a very well prepared presentation of what you want to do, have done, how you have made it. And you're not afraid to say that, look, I'm successful. I mean, it's very important to know that what your success is and what your failure is. Yeah, I failed to get into top university, college, whatever it is. But yes, I'm still working very hard. I'm determined. And here I am. I'm successful. Don't be, I'm not ashamed or embarrassed to say it, because false modesty serves no purpose.
true.
False modesty, oh, I did nothing. What? Why? Why say that? Look, you are showing the path to younger people that, look, this is the way. You have to say what it is. Okay, that's great. Anything else you want to add here?
That's it from my end, sir. I just even today, I face a lot of challenges in my everyday life because I'm doing CA
Hmm.
articleship, which is like a constant grinding work. You have to constantly be active. At the same time, I am ensuring that I take that time out to pursue my ambition. So I have my career path set. I have to pursue CA. I am on that path. But at the same time, I believe that those extra co-curricular achievements that I did in my college is somewhere uh you know in just I'm just so obsessed with co-curriculars that even today, when I have like a 9 to 5 job, I'm still taking out time to ensure that I'm doing those co-curricular activities still. So I just like would like to end with that. And my clear message would be just for those CA aspirants in particular who are planning to pursue regular college, to make sure that you're visible at college. Your CA studies, your CA, the concentration and the amount of hard work that CA as a profession requires should never be a barrier or an obstacle in your co-curriculars. So that's
Okay.
it from my answer.
Okay, so let's poke a little deeper into how you studied for UCA.
Okay. So eventually, I'll talk about my group two, sir, which was eventually my third year of college, wherein I was the president as well as I had to study for my exams. So earlier, I was of the opinion that, hard work should be given to pursue your CA studies. But when I was preparing for my group 2, I realized that, at the same time, at one end, I'm giving that sort of hard work. At the same time, I should also be doing that smart work to prepare for my CA examination. So each day I used to like wake up early. I used to, start with my CA studies because I could actually spot out the time wherein I had to give that time to my placement cell. It was during the college hours, let's say 10 a.m. to let's say 5 p.m. I have to be available for my placement cell. So apart from that, whatever time I had, I used to give it to my studies so that I could actually concentrate, because CA studies, you actually require a sort of focus and concentration to study. If you miss out on any particular topic and if the same comes in your exams, then you're gone. So you like give 100% of your concentration on whatever you're studying. So I used to figure out those times wherein I couldn't be disturbed, because I had to put in those, focused hours of studies. At the same time, I used to like if I have to talk about the syllabus of how I actually studied for my CA, I used to, as a smart working person in my group 2, I used to take out those questions that used to be very repetitive, because I really believe that if out of, let's say, a paper of 100, even if I attempt, let's say, 70 to 80 marks, and I actually get that 50 or 60 marker correct, if my 60 or 70, like if my 50 or 60 marks are correct, despite not being able to attempt the entire paper, then I'm really good to go because I'll eventually clear my exams.
Yeah.
So that was my approach. At the same time, I used to like give certain number of days to a particular subject. So I've had like friends who used to study four subjects on one day itself. So taking out some time, let's say 2 hours to a particular subject and then switching the subjects. I wasn't able to prepare well as per this particular learning pattern. I used to give like, let's say, 2 days to a particular subject. I used to finish it up and then move on to the next subject and then keep revising the previous subject. So in terms of like preparing for my CA curriculum, I used to follow this particular approach.
Okay, wonderful. And where did you get these materials from that you
So sir,
studied?
yeah, there in CA we have a lot of teachers. We have like teachers who are coming into the industry now, into the CA curriculum teaching industry, and there are seniors and there are teachers who've been like there for like 20-25 years. So I've seen a lot of friends of mine going for teachers who are new into the industry because of course they bring in the freshness, but somewhere down the line, as per my personal choice, I went in and bought the classes and the study material from teachers who were there in the industry for 20-25 years, because I do believe that if a person is there in a particular is teaching a particular subject in so much time, then they know where the paper or the questions would be framed from. So in my particular opinion, I went for senior teachers who had the experience of teaching since like 20-25 years.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. And all right, wonderful. Anything else you want to add here?
That's it, sir.
Okay,
I will.
fine. Then let's end it here today. I'll be back with another young person or an expert soon. Let's say bye to the viewers. Bye, everybody.